Chapter 61. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the next few days as expected, the Wei Group experienced turmoil. 1/3 of the senior executives were transferred to the cleaning department. Every day, a large number of managers and supervisors gathered together to drink tea and chat. They lived a very comfortable life. The news immediately caused a sensation in the Jiangzhou business community. Some people gloated over the misfortune. Some people took advantage of the situation. More people secretly lamented that Wei Jiaoyang was ruthless. However, no matter how much preparation he made, replacing so many middle and senior executives in a hurry had a significant impact on the group. In just a few days, Wei Linlang was almost annoyed to the point of vomiting blood in the president's office. Various documents piled up like a mountain. Wei Linlang looked through the documents with a tired face. Several secretaries assisted on the side, and they were very busy. You are too inefficient, aren't you? You can't even handle such a small number of documents. How come this statistical data is wrong again? If you keep going like this, will you still get your bonus this month? All of you have to work overtime tonight, and you must sort out the documents for me no matter what. Wei Linlang was so angry that she smashed the documents on the table. Rubbing her temples, she criticized and scolded. The little secretary grumbled aggrievedly. In the past, these document sorting and classification work was done by assistantly. We are not familiar with it. You still have the nerve to say that? Wei Linlang was so angry that she slammed the table and roared, assistantly, you also know that he is just an assistant, not a man of many heads and 6 arms. Why can't the 5 of you share this little work after he leaves? Assistant Lee has been in the group for more than 10 years and is familiar with all departments. We can't compare with him. Yes, if his workload is divided into one person, the 5 of us can't take it. President, why don't you hire a few more secretaries? Everyone complained cautiously. Wei Linlang was feeling headache and depressed again. She thought that the group was full of talents, and even if 1/3 of the middle and senior management were kicked out, this huge business entity could still operate smoothly. But who would have thought that just one assistant Lee would make her almost want to vomit blood, on weekdays? This general assistant of the secretariat can arrange everything properly, communicate various matters and give good suggestions, and she, as the president, only needs to sign easily. Now that people have been transferred away, she realized that a small general assistant has too many trivial matters to deal with every day. Boss Wei, it's not good. A female secretary rushed in hurriedly. What's wrong again? Wei Linlang's face was full of impatience. The company's internal network suddenly collapsed, and the finance department, investment department and other departments were all paralyzed, which seriously affected daily work. If it is not repaired as soon as possible, it is likely to have a huge impact on our group. The female secretary said anxiously. If the network crashes, go fix it. Wei Linlang frowned and slammed the table. What's the point of looking for me? Where are the people in the network engineering department? It's being fixed. The female secretary reported with a sad face. But they said that our group's internal network involves dozens of departments and more than a dozen subsidiaries. The internal structure is extremely complex. Once a bug occurs, it is very likely to crash across the board. In the past, network security and program maintenance were all in the charge of Mr. Lee from the network engineering department. Now you have transferred him to the cleaning department. They are not familiar with many original data and are temporarily helpless. Wei Linlang's breath was stuck in his throat. He couldn't help feeling dizzy and gritted his teeth and cursed, it's like this again. Is the huge network engineering department full of useless people? You can't do anything after Mr. Lee left, right? Keep urging them to fix it. If they don't fix it quickly, all quarterly bonuses will be deducted. Yes. The female secretary turned around and left in a hurry. As a result, as soon as the person left, another male secretary walked in quickly. Seeing this, Wei Linlang had already given up hope. She asked tiredly, what's the matter? If it's not important, let's talk about it later. Can't you see that everyone is busy? It's very important. The male secretary handed over a document seriously. someone anonymously reported to the tax department that our group has tax problems. The Tax Bureau has issued a notice of investigation and requires us to submit a detailed description before the end of this month. What? Wei Linlang jumped up directly. Tax issues are not trivial matters. Once the Tax Bureau determines that there are problems with the accounts, at the very least, a huge fine will be imposed, and at the worst, rectification will be required. Now the internet has zero tolerance for tax evasion. What will happen if it is exposed by the opponent? There have been no tax problems for so many years, how come someone suddenly reported us? Wei Linlang's eyes were sharp. Who is messing with us? It's probably Sister Lin, the Deputy General Manager of the Finance Department. The male secretary smiled bitterly. She has been in the group for more than 10 years, and she knows all the accounts, big and small. The accounts she handled in the past are naturally fine, but if she wants to deliberately do something, we will be worried. This bitch. Wei Linlang was so angry that she threw the documents on the desk. All of them fell to the ground, and after taking a few deep breaths, he slowly calmed down and said, "There has always been no problem with our group's accounts. Let the finance department work overtime to prepare a detailed account and then communicate with the tax bureau." Understood. The male secretary handed over another document. There is also a problem with the customs declaration forms of several of our recent overseas orders. They were rejected by the customs. Take a look. Do you want me to look at this kind of thing? Wei Linlang completely collapsed. She took the documents with an ugly face and asked with suppressed anger, "Where are the people from the Ministry of Economics and Trade? Are they also eating dry food? These customs declaration forms are all sent to Europe. The customers there are very difficult to deal with, and the customs are also very strict." The male secretary explained, "From the variety of goods, weight, subject, unit, tax refund and dozens of other details are involved. In the past, Deputy Minister Liu was responsible for the clearance of the Ministry of Economics and Trade. Now." Wei Linlang's body shook and she could hardly stand steadily. Needless to say, it must be that the old hand went to the cleaning department. The Ministry of Economic and Trade couldn't handle it and caused a mess. These foreign trade orders were placed by foreign customers. Foreigners are very strict in their work, and ordinary people really can't handle it. Returning the customs declaration forms several times will affect the delivery time, causing the group to face huge compensation. None of these things happened on weekdays. Now they are all crowded together. How can Wei Linlang handle it? Needless to say, it must be those middle and senior management who are doing it. This is to take malicious revenge. These bitches. Wei Linlang's pretty face was full of madness. "Mr. Wei, the chairman has heard about the chaos in the past few days." The male secretary hesitated and said, "He asked you to deal with the matter as soon as possible. Do you think you should invite a few vice presidents back?" "Invite bullshit, don't we have any face to invite people back just after the transfer?" Wei Linlang decisively refused. She said angrily, "Do you really think that the group will not function without them? You want me to beg them? Dream on. You should immediately notify all departments to step up the investigation of the problem, especially the Network Engineering Department, the Economic and Trade Department, and the Finance Department. Urge them more and promote those who are capable immediately. I don't believe that we can't control the situation." "Yes," the male secretary hesitated and finally left with a sigh. Chapter 63. You are listening at novelfull.audio. During this period, Wei Xing's stock account was making profits every day. Tens of millions of funds were growing like a snowball. He could no longer hold back his excitement and wanted to expose it to the Wei family, so that they could see his ability and let them know that he was also valuable, at least not much worse than Wei Hong, therefore. When he saw Wei Linlang's depressed face, Wei Xing decisively expressed his thoughts. "Sister, although I don't know what happened to the group now, it's just a funding problem, plus various projects are losing money, right?" "Yes." Wei Linlang nodded and said, "Recently, there are indeed some problems with the project, and it may lose a lot of money. I will definitely be held accountable by the board of directors. If I help you make back the lost money, can you escape this disaster? Wei Xing continued to ask. You? Wei Linlang was stunned when she heard this, and then couldn't help laughing. Wei Hong has been personally instructed by Grandpa Wei since he was a child. She had to admire the ability to handle the affairs of the group at such a young age. What about Wei Xing? A boy who grew up in a village in the city. Even though he has entered a private high school for nobles, the time is too short after all. He has never been exposed to business knowledge. How can he help Wei Linlang make money? This is a loss of 847 million. Sister, don't you believe it? Wei Xing said mysteriously, do you remember the last time I borrowed your stock account to invest? Of course I remember. Wei Linlang frowned and said, is all the money locked up? It's okay, it's just tens of millions, so it's a loss. It's not a loss, but a profit. Wei Xing didn't say much nonsense. He put the calming tea aside first, then took out his mobile phone to log into the stock account and handed it over. When Wei Linlang saw a large piece of red on it, she couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. More than 70 million. She exclaimed with wide eyes, what's going on? You had a total of more than 34 million in your account before. In less than a month, I doubled the funds. Wei Xing said proudly, if you don't believe me, you can check it out. During this period, I didn't lose any money in any of the stocks I invested in. They were all in the red. How is it possible? Wei Linlang was in disbelief. She quickly looked through the past trading records. As a result, she was surprised to find that Wei Xing did not lie. He really bought everything and it went up. It was as if he could predict the future. Whenever a stock was about to fall, he could always sell it in time to keep the profit. How did you do it? Wei Linlang looked complicated. I told you I was born lucky. Wei Xing blinked and explained confidently, as I get older, I find that I am getting luckier and better. I won the lottery 5 times a while ago and made 8 or 9 million. It's the same with stock trading. I know nothing about stocks, but no matter what I buy, it will go up. After I sell it, the stock will always go down inexplicably, so I can double my funds in such a short time. Wei Linlang couldn't help but secretly smack his lips after hearing this. This kind of luck is really terrifying. Although it sounds very fantasy, there are so many talented people in the world. Luck seems to be a kind of ability. What a pity. Wei Linlang glanced at the mobile phone interface and shook her head, saying, although 70 or 80 million is not a small amount, it is still a drop in the bucket to fill the hole in the Ruixing hardware factory project. Sister, don't you understand? Wei Xing approached with a smile and said in a low voice, good luck is also a cheating device. I can turn more than 30 million into more than 70 million, and I can double more money. Wei Linlang's eyes suddenly lit up. Yes, isn't this a cheating device? This ability makes money in the stock market just like printing money. As long as enough funds are given to Wei Xing to operate, wouldn't it be possible to kill all sides in the stock market, easily earn back a huge cash flow? What project hole is a fart? Wei Group can even soar to the sky with this. Okay, let's go, follow me. Wei Linlang excitedly pulled him and pushed the door directly into the study. Wei Jiaoyang frowned when he saw the 2 people coming in, and subconsciously asked, what are you doing here? Is there something wrong? Dad, our Wei family is going to be prosperous. Wei Linlang excitedly handed over the phone. He repeated the conversation just now. The more Wei Jiaoyang listened, the more surprised and shocked he became. He almost doubted his ears and wondered if he was dreaming. Is there such a fantasy in the world? But after confirming again and again that this is not a simulation software, he finally believed it all. Wei Jiaoyang excitedly stood up, hugged him and laughed. Okay, I didn't expect the Wei family, actually adopted a natural lucky star. You are born to bring good luck to me, ha ha ha. Dad, you are right. Shaoxing is definitely a lucky star. Wei Linlang smiled and said proudly, it is our honor to adopt him. Now the group is in trouble. Why don't we ask him to take a vacant position in the group? Okay. Wei Jiaoyang said with a smile, you arrange it. Just give him a position as vice president. It will sound good when it is said. Thank you, Dad, thank you, big sister. Wei Xing smiled immediately. He deliberately exposed his ability. Isn't it just for fame and fortune? At such a young age, he served as the vice president of Wei Group. How face-saving would it be? And from now on, he can still be loved by the Wei family. They must treat him as a lucky treasure, right? Think of Wei Hong, who is alone. Comparing the two, Wei Xing couldn't help but feel proud. Dad. Wei Linlang continued, I think Xiaoxing's talent should not be wasted. Why don't we build a financial investment group within the group? Allocate funds to invest in stock market funds and make sure we can make a lot of money. In the early stage, we can play by ourselves. After we become famous, we can also set up a private equity fund to leverage the huge stock market with very small funds. This is definitely a godsend opportunity for our Wei Group to transform and develop. Wei Jiaoyang's eyes lit up as he listened. He is not a fool, and naturally knows the benefits of this talent. Once it can be successfully implemented, the market value of Wei Group will be more than 50 billion or 60 billion. It is not impossible to become a chaebol of hundreds of billions or trillions of yuan. Okay. Wei Jiaoyang immediately decided, don't disclose this matter first, and you too will be responsible for it. Lin Lang, you will allocate some people and 2 billion funds to invest in it, and see the results as soon as possible. If this matter is done well, the deficit of the Ruixing hardware factory project is nothing at all, and you can also be proud of it in the board of directors. No one can shake your position in the future. Wei Linlang laughed when she heard this and assured him again and again, Dad, don't worry. Without Wei Hong, it's nothing. Xiaoxing is even more amazing than him. Good days are ahead for our Wei family. Chapter 64. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the room on the second floor. Wei Hong took off his headphones with a strange look on his face. Ever since he installed the eavesdropping Trojan on the mobile phones of Wei Jiaoyang and others, he would habitually listen to the noise every day, but who knew that he would hear the explosive news tonight? Sure enough, Wei Xing is not a fool. He has already thought of a way to make money by using his luck in stocks, and he has already made a small profit. But he actually wants to rely on his luck to play private equity funds. He really doesn't know how high the sky is and how deep the earth is. Wei Hong shook his head disdainfully, just wanting to say that it was a fantasy. After rebirth, he may know better than Wei Xing that luck is not omnipotent. It obviously has many limitations and upper limits. People must not overestimate themselves. With the luck he has absorbed, Wei Xing has no problem making tens of millions by investing in stocks. But once he has billions of funds in his hands, can his luck still carry it? The answer is obvious. But Wei Xing must have his own considerations. Maybe he wanted to make money step by step, feed back to Wei Group through the stock market, show his importance, improve his favorability in the hearts of Wei family members, and then absorb more luck. In short, this is not a good thing. Whether it is the growth of Wei Group or Wei Xing himself, it is bad news for him. However, Wei Hong did not intend to care, but hoped that they would make a bigger fuss, because he knew that in more than a month, the A-share market would usher in a tragic stock market crash due to various reasons such as the Federal Reserve's interest rate hike and financial brokerage reforms. This unprecedented stock market crash has spread from the U.S. stock market to the world. A-shares have plummeted from more than 4,000 points to 3,200 points. More than half of the thousands of stocks will face a sharp drop in half. Once Wei Xing manipulated billions of funds to enter the A-share market, it was almost like jumping into a blood pit. If it was just the loss of Wei Group's money, it would be fine, but he wanted to drag others into the pit together. The consequences would be unimaginable. Okay, since you want to die, then I will fulfill your wish. Many calculations flashed through Wei Hong's mind. After thinking about it, he realized that if he wanted to trick Wei Xing, he had to control his luck. After all, if a person with strong luck encounters a stock market crash, he will subconsciously sell his funds and flee. It is not easy to make him fall into the trap. Only a few days before the stock market crash, deliberately arrange several unexpected events to consume Wei Xing's luck. Only then will he fall into the pit of the stock market crash unknowingly. thinking of this. Wei Hong took out his mobile phone and called Uncle Gong. After a while, Su Maogong's voice came from the other side. Master, what's the matter? Uncle Gong, is everything going well in Hong Kong? Everything is going well, Master, rest assured. Okay. Wei Hong said straight to the point, help me find a few masters who know how to create accidents, kill people invisibly, and leave no evidence. Master, are you going to deal with him again? Su Maogong inexplicably thought of the last incident again. Wei Hong did not refute, and asked directly, can you find it? Yes. Su Maogong readily agreed, there is not much else in Hong Kong City, and the most people are those who make money by side doors. I also knew a few friends here before. I should be able to find them by asking them. In the past, there were some people in the underworld who specialized in this kind of work. They did not show their talents, but relied on their high IQ to plot and kill others. The police investigation could only determine that it was an accident. If it doesn't work, I will find a few top international killers. They also have ways to kill a person quietly. In short, you will definitely be satisfied. Wei Hong hung up the phone with satisfaction. He didn't want to kill Wei Xing right away. After all, there were still many secrets in this guy that had not been uncovered. He relied on his past life memories to suppress him, and then took away all the opportunities before killing him. He only wanted to control his luck by finding someone to create an accident. If an accident happened every now and then, even if Wei Xing could avoid it every time, his luck would definitely be seriously depleted, right? How could he fight with himself then? It seems quite interesting to slowly kill a system owner with the mode of cutting meat with a blunt knife. In my previous life, Wei Xing made me deserted, lost my reputation, and had nothing, and finally died miserably under the wheels. In this life, I will lift him to a high position again and again, and step on him into the quagmire again and again, let him play until he collapsed and despaired, and then slowly crush him to death. There was a murderous intent in Wei Hong's eyes. After thinking for a moment, he made another call. After a while, a respectful voice came from the phone receiver. Mr. Wei, you're looking for me? Uncle Lin. Wei Hong said with a smile, how is your job in the cleaning department lately? Ha ha ha, very comfortable. The middle-aged man, we are now in a mess every day, and all departments are so busy that they are almost vomiting blood. All the employees under my command are full of resentment. If we ask them to change jobs now, almost all of them will be killed. Don't ask them to change jobs for the time being. Wei Hong said concisely. Wei Jiaoyang and his daughter have suffered heavy losses in recent days, and several projects have gone wrong. They are ready to switch to the stock market. Do you want us to spread the news and cause trouble? The middle-aged man asked tentatively. No. Wei Hong coughed lightly and smiled. Spread the news and help them carry the sedan chair. The higher the better. Understood. The middle-aged man agreed with a smile. After hanging up the phone, Wei Hong slowly raised the corners of his lips. He is now looking forward to the expression of Wei Jiaoyang and his group standing on a high place and then falling into the abyss. The stock market crash that happens only once every 10 or 8 years was encountered by them, and Wei Xing happened to want to make a big splash in the stock market. I don't know if it's God helping him or the rebirth of this butterfly wing that caused the situation to change, you know. In his previous life, Wei Xing didn't get involved in the stock market until after college. In this life, he may have been bullied by Wei Hong again and again, so he took a different approach and prepared to open a new track. The stock market can't be played by luck alone. Wei Hong sneered and silently opened the fund software on his computer. Although he is a minor and cannot open an account to trade stocks in China, he is a top hacker in the world. He can remotely forge his identity and open a fund account in some countries with weak supervision, with his photographic memory of the previous life. Wei Hong clearly knows the future economic, stock market, and fund trends of countries around the world. Coupled with his solid financial theory, investing is like a fish in water, and the effect is not much worse than Wei Xing's investment by luck, during this period of time. The 450 million renminbi he earned from the Tingxing pharmaceutical incident has now reached 120 million US dollars. Next, Wei Hong only needs to continue investing to accumulate strength. When the stock market crash comes, he will decisively short the international fund. He can earn 10 or 100 times the profit in this stock market crash. Chapter 66. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mid-November. Wei's group is in turmoil again. Wei Jiaoyang personally approved his adopted son Wei Xing to serve as the group's vice president, and established the second financial department to make all-round investments in the stock market. This heavy news immediately attracted heated discussions from all parties. Netizens generally did not look favorably on this operation. Let a 17-year-old high school student serve as vice president. It's simply a joke with the shareholders' money. On that day, Wei's group stock plunged. The stock price continued to fall for several consecutive days. However, different rumors soon spread throughout the upper circles of Jiangzhou. It is said that the new second financial department of Wei's group has selected elite backbones to specialize in the A-share and fund markets. In just a few days, it has invested more than 2 billion, and the book profit is very considerable. For a while, the news that Wei Xing is an investment genius spread like wildfire. Some people don't believe it, some people sneer, and some people are curious and wait and see. However, as time went by, all kinds of gossip began to flow out from the group, and Wei Xing's investment talent was further confirmed, which aroused the curiosity and surprise of countless people. In early December, the annual summit of Wei Group was held on the top floor of Vienna Hotel. This summit not only invited celebrities from all walks of life in the city's political and business circles, but also major subsidiaries, partners, and suppliers. Various dignitaries, wealthy businessmen, noble ladies, and celebrities came one after another. There were even second- and third-tier stars performing on stage, which was extremely lively. Off stage, the dignitaries and wealthy businessmen still held champagne and red wine and wandered in the power field. They greeted and complimented people with smiles, or kept flattering the big guys. And today's protagonist is undoubtedly Wei Xing. When Wei Jiaoyang walked onto the stage to host the summit, he did not hesitate to order someone to play a PPT on the big screen. Everyone, the development of Wei's group is still good this year. In the first 3 quarters, each quarter had a profit of more than 8%. In the fourth quarter, there was a temporary decline due to some personnel structure adjustments within the group, but the flaws did not outweigh the merits. We believe that when Wei's group completes the index of young management, it will burst out with more vigorous vitality in the future, and our recently established financial department too has already delivered a brilliant answer sheet. Please see, for more than half a month, the financial department too has used 2 billion working capital to invest in a shares and domestic funds, and achieved a total profit increase of 12.7%, which once became a dark horse in the fourth quarter of this year for our group. Wei Jiaoyang was high-spirited and talked freely on the stage. Wei Xing also accepted the shocked, jealous, or scrutinizing eyes of the crowd. At this moment, he only felt full of pride and excitement. Once upon a time, he was just a poor boy in the village in the city, but now Wei Xing felt the wonderful taste of standing at the pinnacle of power and wealth, being admired and flattered by thousands of people. This feeling made him sink, and also gave him the illusion that he was invincible. Well, the Wei Group is indeed a well-established enterprise. I didn't expect that it would have such great development in the field of financial investment. Mr. Wei, you have to lead us. Yes, it's a miracle to achieve a profit increase of 12.7% in just half a month. Nephew Wei is so amazing, he is 100 times better than your elder brother. People around him flattered him. Wei Jiaoyang and Wei Xing were naturally very happy. Everyone. Wei Jiaoyang pretended to be regretful and said, "Our group is still in the exploratory stage in the field of financial investment, and we don't have a private equity fund license yet, so we can't lead everyone to make money now. Please forgive me." Hey! What's the point of a private equity fund license? Just acquire a small fund. Mr. Wei, you can't be so disloyal. You make money without taking us with you. Yes, it's a bull market now, and it's a good opportunity to make money. You have to take us with you. Everyone persuaded, no one wanted to miss this good opportunity. You should know that most of the rich are actually in need of money-making projects. They have a lot of money in their hands but don't know what to invest. The interest rate of buying a bank fixed deposit is too low, and buying fund financial management is unstable. There are gains and losses in doing business, especially some of the younger generations in the family who are not doing well. They are eager to find a reliable fund to entrust the rest of their lives. Wei Xing used 2 billion funds to buy dozens of stocks. It stands to reason that if the rise and fall offset each other, it is normal for the rise and fall to be within 3%. The rise of 12.7% is really too exaggerated. Anyone can see that he is quite capable. If you can get close to such an investment expert, it would be good to get some soup with him. Therefore, as expected, Wei Jiaoyang and Wei Xing were surrounded by people. Not far away, Wei Hong and Hu Yinghao were sitting drinking on the sofa in the corner, watching this farce silently, and even chatting and laughing. "Mr. Hua, why don't you go up and chat? Maybe the father and son of the Wei family will take you to invest and make money." Wei Hong joked. "Take me to make money? Don't take me to jump into a pit." Hua Yinghao shook his wine glass and sneered contemptuously. "Besides, why do I need help from others to invest?" "That's right." Wei Hong shrugged in agreement. "Since this guy entered Jiangzhou City, he has been investing wildly. Not only has he been involved in finance, real estate, catering, jewelry and other industries, but he has also snatched several big orders from the Wei Group in succession. The development momentum of the Zhenghao Group he founded is extremely fierce, and it has become a new upstart in Jiangzhou. How could such a person need others to take him to invest?" "Your brother is weird." Hua Yinghao raised his eyebrows, looked at Wei Xing who was drinking in the crowd, and chuckled. "You should know his background. Why don't you reveal a few? Guess it yourself." Wei Hong took a sip of wine and said with a smile, "Last time, Mr. Hua said that he wanted to cooperate to make money. I wonder if it still counts." "Oh. You want to cooperate with me?" Hua Yinghao was stunned. "Of course." Wei Hong nodded. "Last time I didn't agree just because I didn't have many chips on hand. Now that the foundation is gradually rich, it is natural to try to cooperate with a big crocodile like you." Hua Yinghao is interested. He raised his eyebrows to indicate to continue. Wei Hong lowered his voice and said sincerely, "You came to Jiangzhou City to eat the big cake, and I also want to share a piece of it. If Mr. Hua is willing to cooperate, we can discuss everything." "You even know this?" Hua Yinghao took a breath of cold air. He looked at Wei Hong's immature but calm face, and then at Wei Xing who was too proud of himself, and couldn't help showing a trace of surprise. "Is the difference between a real young master and a fake young master really that big? One is still complacent about others' compliments. The other is ready to negotiate a deal of more than 100 billion yuan with him while chatting and laughing. TSK, the Wei family is really blind. They don't even know that a real dragon has appeared in their family." Hua Yinghao joked, "You can have a share, but you have to use at least 5 billion yuan. Do you have it?" "I will." Wei Hong drank the wine in the glass, his eyes full of confidence. Chapter 67. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Halfway through the banquet, Wei Xing, along with Ji Peng, Xia Sisi and other rich second generations, came over in a swagger. His smug face made him look like he deserved a beating. "Mr. Hua, do you mind if we come over to chat?" Wei Xing asked in a humble tone. "Of course not." Hua Yinghao raised his glass with interest. "My dear nephew, please." Obviously, he could see that the other party was looking for Wei Hong, so he simply stepped aside and watched the show with a half-smile. "Big brother, thank you for coming to this summit." Wei Xing decisively began to perform, and said with a protagonist's attitude, "Although there was some chaos in the group last time because of you, it has finally returned to normal after the efforts of Dad and Big Sister. Although the group is the same with or without you, you are still the heir trained by Grandpa. I will persuade Dad to forgive you. Come back." "What to come back?" "I have you." Wei Hong said with a smile, "The second financial department is so impressive, the vice president. If you mind that I stole the limelight, I can ask Dad to withdraw the appointment." Wei Xing sighed with a wry smile. What can't be discussed as a family? You deliberately let your subordinates embarrass big sister, isn't this a betrayal? Listen to my advice and go home to apologize to Dad, and then our family will work together to make the group bigger and stronger, which is better than anything else, isn't it? Huh. Wei Hong curled his lips and smiled, and was too lazy to talk nonsense with him. Everyone knows what the hostile relationship between the two sides is. The other party wanted to disgust him, but he just couldn't bear it and wanted to show off. Have you finished? Get out of here. Wei Hong raised his hand to signal the bodyguard to get rid of him. Wei Xing hurriedly continued, Brother, don't be so arrogant. The group will still be running without you. I can make hundreds of millions of profits every month now, which is billions a year. If this continues, there will be no place for you in the group in less than half a year. If you are willing to give in to your parents now, they will still be willing to forgive you. I am willing to give you the position of vice president. Wei Hong was disgusted and wanted to laugh. Wei Xing's face of a villain who succeeded was really asking for a beating. He kept showing his importance, and he still wanted to give him back the vice president. Who are you disgusting? Get out. Wei Hong frowned impatiently. The bodyguards on both sides immediately blocked him and raised their hands to push him. Wei Xing pretended to be very hurt, sighing as he stepped back. This immediately caused Ji Peng, CSCC and others to glare at him, and they all stepped forward to protect him. Shaoxing, don't be too kind. Some people are jealous of you for being the vice president and having investment talent. Why are you talking nonsense to him? That's right. Now Director Wei only recognizes you as his son. He doesn't agree to some people's return to the Wei family. Shaoxing, don't mind your own business. When you gain a foothold in the Wei group, he will only come back to beg you. The rich second generation persuaded him. It's just that the last time the Nie family was destroyed, it frightened them severely. Therefore, even if these people were dissatisfied with Wei Hong, they didn't dare to name him, and only dared to say a few sarcastic words. Wei Xing hid in the crowd and smiled proudly. Wei Hong was too lazy to waste words with these fools. He just looked at Ji Peng and CSCC from time to time with a half-smile. As friends of Wei Xing, the two were also very lucky. There were two people on the list he gave to Professor K. CSCC had not been attacked yet, but Ji Peng was racing with someone on the mountain road a few days ago, and he almost rushed down the cliff with his car. Now his left arm is still bandaged with gauze. Professor K and his team are really professional. Ji Peng almost fell to his death, but he only thought that his car slipped and lost control, and he didn't suspect that someone had done something, and he didn't know that his luck had dissipated a lot invisibly. Once the luck dissipated completely, there was only one way to die. Think about it seriously. Wei Xing is really a plague god. Ding dong. Suddenly, a message popped up on the phone. This was a text message from Professor K, and the content was so simple that there was only one number, 5. Number 5, CSCC. Wei Hong's mouth curled up a smile. Professor K just attacked Ji Peng once. Is this a chance to deal with CSCC? He sat back on the sofa and chatted with Huanghao, but his eyes kept glancing around, wanting to see with his own eyes how Professor K and his team were going to act in the noisy banquet. Bang! A waiter suddenly bumped into CSCC by accident, and all kinds of drinks spilled all over her. Ah! CSCC and several other celebrities around her exclaimed screaming. They were wearing haute couture dresses that made it difficult for them to walk. Suddenly, the wine splashed on them, and many people's clothes and skirts became colorful and ugly. The faces of the celebrities and daughters were distorted for a moment, and they made a big commotion. If it weren't for such an important occasion, they almost wanted to curse. What did you do? Aren't the hotel waiters trained? My dress is worth more than 3 million yuan from a famous designer. Who will compensate me for the wine splashing on it? How do you see the road? If your eyes are useless, you can donate them to people in need. The celebrities complained angrily. The waiter was so scared that he was at a loss and hurriedly bowed to apologize. A middle-aged manager came over quickly, bowed, and said with a panicked look on his face, I'm sorry, everyone. It's because our people were not trained well enough. Please go to the locker room to clean up. We will compensate you later. Forget it, I'll go change my clothes. Xie Cece didn't think much about it, and wiped the red wine off her face with a tissue. She walked towards the locker room while holding up her skirt, but when she approached a 3-layer cake, she suddenly slipped and rushed towards the cake with a scream. Be careful, that everyone around was shocked. As we all know, there are fixed brackets in large cakes. These brackets are thin and sharp plastic sticks that are inserted into the cake to fix it. Once a person rushes on it, or his head is pressed on the cake, it will immediately pierce the eyeballs and cheeks, in a flash. Xie Cece was also scared. She lost her balance and couldn't avoid it at all. She could only raise her hands to protect her eyes and twist her body as much as possible. Then, with a bang, she fell head-on onto the cake. Ah! A shrill scream resounded throughout the banquet hall. Everyone looked over and saw Xie Cece falling to the ground with cake all over her face, wailing and rolling. Her neck, palms, and cheeks were all pierced with blood holes. Blood was constantly flowing out, and she almost fainted from the pain. Oh my God, how could this happen? Hurry up and save people. Call 120. Cece, how are you? Are you okay, Cece? Woo, hurry up and save people. That the surrounding rich second generations and socialites were all in a commotion. A bunch of people surrounded her and hurriedly prepared to send her to the hospital. Only Wei Hong glanced around and saw a few figures quietly retreating in the chaos. Chapter 69. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the evening, Wei Sheng and Wei Linlang had just stepped into the house when they found that there were a few new faces among their bodyguards. Wei Jiaoyang was sitting on the sofa reading a newspaper. When he saw the two of them coming back, he immediately raised his eyebrows and said, "You guys, come and meet Master Sheng." "Hello, Master Sheng." That the 4 new bodyguards stood like pine trees and greeted them coldly. Wei Sheng's eyebrows were happy, but he asked knowingly, "Dad, what are you doing? We can't use so many bodyguards, right? These are special bodyguards who have just been hired from the security company to protect your safety in all aspects." Wei Jiaoyang said seriously, "You are now the golden nugget of our Wei family and Wei group. In order to prevent someone from doing something bad to you, we naturally have to strengthen your protection." "Thank you, Mom and Dad." Wei Sheng bowed excitedly to thank them. He looked very touched, but he was secretly proud in his heart. In the past, he had 2 bodyguards to protect him, and now he has 4 more. It's really stylish to go out with 6 bodyguards. Although it is not as grand as Wei Hong's, there are not many second-generation rich people in Jiangzhou City who have such a scene. Even many rich people cannot have 6 bodyguards around them, so it is definitely quite face-saving for him to go out with so many people. "What are you thanking me for?" Wei Jiaoyang waved his hand indifferently, glanced at Wei Hong who was walking down from the 2nd floor, and deliberately said loudly, "You are my son, and you have made important contributions to the family and the group, so it is reasonable to improve your treatment, unlike some people who just know how to eat." "That's right." Wei Linlang also interrupted at the right time, sneering, "Some people have spent so many people to cultivate from childhood to adulthood, but when they grow up, they not only don't share the worries of the family, but also turn their elbows outward. Do you really think that the group can't operate without you? Now the Wei group is developing well. The stock has been rising by the daily limit these days, and the market value has approached 70 billion. When the 2nd financial department is completely famous, I want to see who is the real heir to the group. For these nonsense." Wei Hong turned a deaf ear to them. He walked leisurely to the wine cabinet and poured himself a glass of champagne. He added a few pieces of ice leisurely, and then turned around to go to the gym to practice boxing. Seeing this, Wei Linlang was so angry that she almost smashed the Hermes bag in her hand. She took a few deep breaths and said with gritted teeth, "Pretend. Keep pretending. Don't you claim to be the heir trained by your grandfather every day? I'll show you how the heir status was taken away by others. If you like to rob, rob. Who cares?" Wei Hong sneered and stopped. He raised his eyebrows and glanced at him disdainfully before saying, "Do you think you can play finance with Wei Sheng's help? Don't climb higher and fall harder. You are just jealous." Wei Linlang was immediately proud. She threw her bag to the servant, took a sip of the tea brought by Wang Ma, and then curled her lips and chuckled, "Tsk tsk tsk, some people are going to be angry to death." Hee hee. Wei Jiaoyang and others laughed, although Du Sihui didn't quite agree. She didn't stop it. He just frowned and looked at Wei Hong, and advised earnestly, "If you still want to keep your status as the heir, you'd better turn back. We are still a family, and there is no need to make things too awkward. Sometimes children may be comforted by others when they make a fuss, but if they go too far, they will be annoying. I can give you one last chance." Wei Jiaoyang put down the newspaper, leaned back, and said very domineeringly, "As long as you apologize to the whole family and kneel in front of the ancestral tablets for a day and a night, you still have the opportunity to be the heir of the Wei group, otherwise don't blame me for being cruel. The Wei group is now developing in its heyday. It will reach a scale of 100 billion within a year. It will be easy to sprint to a multinational chaebol of hundreds of billions in the future. Don't be ungrateful. If you keep talking tough, it will be too late to come back in the future." Wei Hong was not angry when he heard this, but he was a little amused. Do these people think that they can go smoothly after achieving a little success? Do they want to use PUA to suppress him and let him continue to work hard for the group? Do you really think that anyone would be interested in taking the bait of the heir? How stupid. Wei Hong sighed and shook his head, then went upstairs with a sneer. He remained indifferent to Wei Jiaoyang and the others' slight surprise and furious rage, jumping up and down and cursing. After all, sometimes ignoring is more devastating than cursing. "Mom, Dad, sister, don't be too angry." Wei Xing hurriedly advised aggrievedly, "Brother just doesn't like me. If he minds, I can resign from the position of vice president of the group." Wei Jiaoyang, Shaoxing, "Don't pay attention to this little beast, we only have you as our son." Wei Linlang, "Yes, Shaoxing, it doesn't matter if he doesn't appreciate it, but you shouldn't be too kind. It's not good to always be warm and cold to others." Du Sihui hesitated and finally sighed, "We are always one family, I will try to persuade him another day." "What do you want to persuade?" Wei Jiaoyang glared at him impatiently, "You spoiled him. Look at what this little beast looks like now." Spoiled. The servants in the villa all looked a little strange. How dare this family say the word spoiled? Have they ever spoiled Wei Hong? It's good enough that they don't make things difficult for him. "Mom and Dad, stop arguing." Wei Xing quickly changed the subject and said, "I think Cece's matter today is not simple. Do you want to find a private detective to check it out? By the way, how is Cece?" Wei Jiaoyang quickly asked, "Why do you want to find a private detective to check it out?" "It's just an accident. I'll go and have a drink with Lao Xia and apologize. After all, it was our poor arrangement this time. Although Cece is fine, this matter always feels too strange." Wei Xing waved his hand to signal the bodyguards to leave, and after glancing upstairs, he walked to the sofa and bowed and said, "Ji Peng also had an accident when he went racing a few days ago. He has never had an accident before. Isn't it normal for racing to have an accident? It would be abnormal if there was no accident." Wei Jiaoyang sneered. Du Sihui, on the other hand, understood the situation and frowned and said, "Do you think someone wants to kill them? An accident deliberately created? Maybe." Wei Xing saw that he couldn't make it out loud, so he could only transmit his thoughts as usual, "Alas. I don't know whether I should say it. The accidents of Ji Peng and Cece are very strange. I suspect that my eldest brother wants to kill them, but I can't tell my parents. I'm so distressed." Hiss. Wei Jiaoyang and the others gasped. Wei Hong wanted to kill Ji Peng and Xia Cece. Why? He didn't seem to have any motive to kill them, right? Wei Linlang opened her mouth to question, but finally held back and turned to persuade, "Dad, why don't you check it out? If someone is really doing something in secret, it would be an explanation to Uncle Xia. After all, Cece almost went blind today." "Okay. I'll ask a private detective to check it out." Wei Jiaoyang agreed. Chapter 70. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Next, whether at school, at home, or in the group, Wei Sheng is very popular and admired by everyone, 6 bodyguards lead the way for him every day. A high-end suit gradually makes him look noble. He is no longer the lonely, silent and inferior person he used to be, but has become confident and outspoken. Although he is still slightly inferior to the introverted and noble young man like Wei Hong, he is no worse than the average rich second generation. No one would think that this is a boy who came out of the village in the city. They would only think of him as a rich boy who has been pampered since childhood. In mid-December, a detailed investigation report was also sent to Wei Sheng's mailbox. This was an investigation report on 2 accidents by a professional private detective hired by Wei Jiaoyang. The report shows that both incidents were indeed accidents. It rained a little on the night when Ji Peng was racing, and the road was slippery. He drank some red wine and accidentally slid out when turning. There were no vehicles or other people around him, and he called other racing friends for help. From all the details, it seems that there is nothing wrong. Even if the police came in person, they would not be able to find any problems. After all, there is no surveillance on the mountain road. As for Xia Cici's case, it was much more complicated. The Wei Group Summit did order a celebration cake that day, but many waiters in the hotel were part-time college students, and the personnel information was complicated, so it was really difficult to check for a while. The report showed that it was not ruled out that someone sneaked into the hotel to commit crimes. However, the hotel was not allowed to turn on surveillance at occasions such as the Wei Group Summit, so it was not clear what happened at the time, and the waiter who poured wine on Xia Cici could not find any clues. The ground had already been damaged by footprints. There was no evidence left by the people coming and going in the hotel. In the end, the private detective could only conclude that this was an accident. Damn, trash. Early in the morning, in the back seat of a Mercedes-Benz. Wei Sheng silently read the investigation report in his mobile mailbox. He was so angry that he smashed his phone on the seat beside him, his face full of anger and dissatisfaction. At this moment, he was inexplicably uneasy. Although he didn't know where this uneasiness came from, but he was still full of irritation. Do you want to find someone to check it again? Wei Sheng scratched his hair, and his sixth sense made him feel that this matter was not so simple. Now he has accumulated 10 or 20 million yuan in funds due to various investments. If he really wants to find someone to investigate, it is not that he can't afford it, but it seems not good to be suspicious without any evidence. Just as Wei Sheng frowned and tangled, the car in front slowly stopped. His eyebrows jumped fiercely, and he couldn't help asking, "What's the situation? Haven't we arrived at the school yet?" "Master, there is a traffic jam ahead." The driver Xiao Wu answered carefully. Yeah. Wei Sheng looked out for a few times, and finally had to remain silent. The 2 cars he and his bodyguard were riding in were both stuck in the downtown area. There were a lot of people here, and there were shops all around. The short road was jammed today. There were many people going to work and school in the morning, so it was normal to have traffic jams. But somehow, Wei Sheng felt that the traffic jam today was not good. A strong sense of uneasiness made him unable to calm down. Change the road. Wei Sheng ordered. The driver Xiao Wu looked around and said helplessly, "No, master, the traffic here is so bad that we can't change the road." Why is this happening? Wei Sheng's heart became more irritable and uneasy. Just as he was considering whether to get off the car, an old wire suddenly broke above his head. It flashed with crackling electric light, and fell to the ground with a crackling sound. Fuck! Wei Sheng was so scared that his scalp went numb. He leaned forward and patted the driver Xiao Wu's shoulder with his left hand, exclaiming, "Something is going to happen. Let's go, hurry up." "Master, we can't go." Driver Xiao Wu also said in a panic, "We are all blocked here. Get off the car, get off now." Wei Sheng was anxious and wanted to push the car door. At this time, the bodyguard raised his hand to stop him. "Master, you can't get off the car. This old wire is still electrified. The ground is slippery after the rain. If we get off the car rashly, we may get electrocuted." "Yes, master." Driver Xiao Wu smiled and said, "The wire is still a little distance away from us. The tires are anti-electric. It's safer for us to stay in the car." A drop of cold sweat fell on Wei Xing's forehead. For some reason, all this always gave him a fatal sense of urgency, and he always wanted to escape quickly in his subconscious mind. Oh my God, why is there a wire hanging here? Oh my God, the wire is old and broken, and it's still live. Everyone stay away. Be careful. Oh my God, the traffic is blocked, everyone is leaving quickly. Oh, it's dangerous to have an electric leakage. Who will call the power company to report it? That the broken wire also attracted the attention of other people. Passers-by pointed and moved away. There were also kind-hearted citizens who were ready to call the police. This busy street was suddenly empty because of a wire. Only a few vehicles stuck in the middle of the road were anxiously honking their horns to urge people to hurry up. For a moment, the air seemed to stagnate. Wei Xing could almost hear the sound of his heartbeat accelerating. The next moment, a pool of water that flowed out from nowhere slowly flowed along the side of the street, then it dripped into the sewer not far away. Oh no! Wei Xing didn't know what danger it would be. He stared at the water with his eyes fixed, subconsciously thinking that it was the source of danger. Sure enough, the water conducts electricity. The crackling current entered the sewer. Boom! A loud bang and flames shot up into the sky. Wei Xing only felt a violent impact from under him. The next moment he was overturned with the car, and the whole person was knocked out and looked very embarrassed. Ding ding ding! The electric vehicles on the whole street were sirens frantically. The passers-by screamed and fled, and the scene suddenly became a mess. The bodyguard beside him only had time to protect Wei Xing with his body, and both of them were hit by the huge impact and had blood on their heads. Fuck, how could there be an explosion? Quick, save people. Save a fart. This is the leakage caused by the aging of the wires, which ignited the fermented methane in the sewer. Who knows if there is still leakage and residual explosion? Let's call the police. Oh my God, several cars were overturned. Fortunately no one was killed. It's terrible. The manhole cover flew up to more than 10 meters high. The voices of passers-by exclaiming and talking reached his ears. Wei Xing's head was buzzing, and his vision was blood red. He laughed miserably and fainted on the spot. Master, are you okay? The vehicle has overturned, Master has fainted, call 120. Be careful with the wires, get them away first. Amidst the noise and chaos, the driver and bodyguards hurriedly began to rescue people.